Hey kids, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. I am Amanda. Today I am going to do my bookshelf tour. Yeah, let's just get it going, right? Let's just roll. Let's just do it. All right, so I guess we'll start at the bottom because this is probably my most boring row. It's all my textbooks. I have a lot of textbooks. I honestly think that like textbooks help you a lot with writing. Like even if you're not in school, having a textbook can only help you. It helps you come up with new ideas for plots. It especially helps you with like character development and like really getting to know a character. Like let's say you have a character who's a prosecutor, but you've literally never lawyered in your life. You can probably get, a book like The Courtroom Explained through the trials of the century and read a little of this, and at least you might not know everything there is to know about the law, especially the law in whatever particular state you're writing in, but you'll know enough to sound like your character actually knows what they're talking about, at least a little bit. And I dig on some textbooks, man. Like I really dig on some textbooks. I think you can learn a lot. And this shelf is pretty much like a continuation of the textbooks and then books that I have already read. That's actually a lie because I haven't read all of the Song of Ice and Fire. Then I've got some more textbooks here. Those are both of my literature textbooks. I've got The Courtroom Explained Through the Trials of the Century, Perfect Phrases with for dealing with difficult people and other fiction, Introduction to the Short Story book. As you can see, I have 2 of the Twilight books. Don't judge. I read them when I was younger. Those are the 2 original copies that I had. The only copies period that I have had. Got my Harry Potter collection, Game of Thrones. Moving right along, these are all the books that I have already read. These are all my husband's. He's a really big Chuck Palahniuk fan, so these are all of his Palahniuk books. I've really only read 2 of his Palahniuk books. I've read Pygmy, and I've read The Fight Club, which is not on here. I think it might be downstairs. But then you've got these are all my theater books. So I've got Love, Allure, Compassion right here. This is actually from college, that we had to read that. And then all my playbills from over the years. I've seen a lot of shows, as you can see. Yeah, Pal Joey. All Shook Up. Rents, this was the first show I ever saw. And it was amazeballs. I went and saw Pauly Shore at the Carolines. So that's from that. That's actually a play that I did. A local play that a friend of mine did. I've got a bunch of them. Maybe sometime I'll do I'll share my playbill collection with you. And then I've got the books for In the Heights. I've got Tick Tick Boom, which is an amazing show. It's the same guy that did Rent, Jonathan Larson. The Last 5 Years, which I freaking love that show. Thank you very much. Father of the Bride. This was a show that I was in, so this is the actual script. I think I might even have my notes in here. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'll look through it because it would be at the end. I played the dressmaker, so it wouldn't be I didn't have a huge part. And this is actually a book that my mom got me for Christmas. I think she got it at the Emily Dickinson house, A Mighty Room. It's a collection of poems by Emily Dickinson. And then this is a cookbook, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. It's a profile of the poet as cook. So there's some recipes in there and some poetry. This is a fanfic that I and a friend wrote. And then these are all the books that I have read. One of Us is Lying, The List. They Both Die at the End, which I fucking loved. Ship It, which I fucking loved. I know I did a review for One of Us is Lying, and I did one for They Both Die at the End, but I haven't done a review for either of these 2, so maybe I will, because they're still relatively new, I think. The Da Vinci Code, I read this a long, long time ago. I think I was still in high school when I read that. Dash and Lily's Book of Dares. I loved this book at the time. I haven't read it in a few years, but I loved it. It's the same people that wrote Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist, which I have not read, but I really loved this book, so maybe I'll read it again and do a review on that. The Accidental Book Club, and this freaking book I devoured, The True Confessions of Charlotte Doyle. I don't think it's a true story. I think it's just called The True Confessions of Charlotte Doyle, but I got this in Mystic, this book, And it was fucking awesome. It's like adventure and pirates and all the stuff that I love. And then I've got some of my baby books. I haven't read either of these two. This one I've read. This is a great book. This one's a great book too. This I got for one of my acting classes back when I was at the New York Film Academy, and it's a really, really great book. Even for writers, I would recommend this book. And I've read this one. And these are all my comic books right here. Maybe I'll do like a comic book reveal or something. So then moving on, I've got my classics. And let's see, I've got Bukowski, Gone with the Wind. This is actually my grandmother's copy. As you can see, it's quite weathered up here. Jane Eyre, that's my mom's copy. My Hemingways. This is also my mom's collection. And I'm actually missing The Old Man and the Sea, which I'm very sad about. Wuthering Heights, Beowulf, The Jungle Book, a Shakespeare book, Lincoln's Devotional, that's my husband's Much Ado About Nothing, Grimm's Fairy Tales, Treasure Island, Tragedies of Shakespeare, as you can see, whoa, here we go. Other Berlin Girl. And then these are like my first edition prints that my husband has gotten me either for an anniversary or like a birthday. A special occasion, pretty much. But yeah, I've got Emily Dickinson's Letters. That's a first print. I've got A Farewell to Arms, also a first print. And then The Little White Bird by J.M. Barrie, which is it's the book that he wrote before he wrote Peter Pan. So Peter Pan is in this book. He's not the main character, but he is in this book. And I think he's like an 8-month-old baby or something. And then up here, I've got all my journals. And these are all the kids' books, children's books. So this is my son's shelf, which I should probably move this one lower since it's his shelf. And then up here, these are all the books that I have not read, although some of these I have read. Like Elia Kazan's Life, I've read. The Lufthansa Heist, I've read. I could not put this shit down. It is so good. Like, if you like mafia stories, this book is awesome. It's so good. Underboss, this is another one I read in like a day and a half. Picking Cotton was really good. I've read all these three. Started reading Wise Guy. Haven't really picked it up again, though. And then everything else I have not read. Yes, The Hate You Give is on there, don't judge. Yes, Cinder is on there, don't judge. Ooh. Hell yeah. Score. So yeah, that's my bookshelf. Isn't it cute? So yeah, that is my bookshelf. I love it. I love the new... Come closer. I love it. Like, I love the new layout of it. I think it's, very organized. It's probably the most organized my bookshelf has ever been. So I'm really proud of it. Really, really proud of it. I really don't know where I'm gonna put any more books. I almost need a bigger shelf, but we don't have the space for another shelf, nor do we have the space really for a bigger shelf. I mean, I guess maybe a bigger shelf we could just put here, but then where the hell would we put this one, So, I don't know. I might have to do another round of dumping books or chucking books that I just am not going to use anymore. And, which is not easy for me to do. I don't like letting things go. So, anyway. And that's all I got for you today, kids. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed this content. Hit the subscribe button, ding that bell. Leave a comment down below. What do your bookshelves look like? How do you guys organize it? Do you do it by colors? I know a lot of people do it by colors. Honestly, I don't really think I could have done it by colors. I think it would have taken me forever and I never would have gotten it done. But how do you organize your bookshelf? What kind of organizational palette do you use, in other words? Please let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.